Hello, everybody. Welcome to whatever this is going to turn out to be. I had an idea a little while ago of basically going, we're coming up to Valentine's Day. Everybody is preparing to be lovey-dovey and sweet and innocent and wholesome for all of their friends or people who they care about most. Or if you're single, there's Singles Appreciation Day. But the idea that I had of going, I need to catch up on my Halloween stuff that I have set up and run previously, and we had a number of games that we unlocked for me to play. And this year, or this month, is going to be the time that I tackle Dead Space 2, if you couldn't tell. I then got to thinking, well, since we're doing this weird juxtaposition thing of, one extreme to the other, what are people's favorite version of thriller or horror or an element in sci-fi that may not necessarily be the focus of that genre, but it is encapsulated in a couple of episodes that may have potentially just caught your attention and made you think, oh wow, that is something else. And then they take care of it over there. So I've asked a couple of friends if they would be down to having a bit of an interview style questionnaire thing. I don't know. Maybe keep that in the edit or not. I don't know. Anyway, so I have a couple of friends with me today who I'm going to start the ball rolling. And this will turn into a bit of a series in relation to what's their best, their favorite, etc. and kind of what got the madness started. So after all of that intro, I have another friend of mine who I asked very short minute and last minute of, because he came to join me and was like, hey, I'm not really doing much. I've stolen you now. So, Zwiffy, tell us a bit about yourself. Do you do any content? Do you have anything that you do? Who are you? What do you do? How do you do it?
What is it? I used to do a lot of content in the past where I did some Twitch streaming and such, but then I laid down a little bit low like a year or so ago, where I moved out to try it out living with a couple of people. It worked fine, but there was like a lot of like life choice things that happened to me, so I decided to focus more on fixing myself than pushing myself to do something that will just drain me even more.
Okay, no, fair enough.
But now I have moved out to my own place. I have gotten a new job, and so things start to turn for better. So I might come back soonish.
Nice. Awesome. Well, when you do, obviously there'll be a bit at the very end where if they need to find you, I will obviously point them in your direction. And the initial question that I'm asking here is, what kind of put you into the horror or thriller space? What was kind of like that initial exposure to it?
Oh, the original exposure to it. I think it's like a combination of like childhood trauma and me. Yeah, no, I had this game when I was a kid there was this like troll named Hugo, which is like, I think it was like Danish or something like that. But they had this game where the people were playing on the TV, but you could also own a CD copy of it. So when I was younger, I got this CD copy and played it. And there was, every time you start the game, there was this hag who talked to you directly to the screen and scratches the screen with her nail and just make like this high-pitched squeak noise.
Oh.
And that just, every time that happened, I refused to look at the computer. I just went under the table till that cutscene was over.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, a small bit of childhood trauma from gaming, because everybody loves that. And then, so I'm assuming that was initially like the wake up call, and this is something that could potentially be linked to it or not. But what was your core memory? Like, what is something that you will refer back to besides the hag that's kind of made you more aware? Is there any kind of like series or a game series? When I talk about series, is there any TV series, movie series, game series that kind of put you on the path of going, yeah, that's the one you always go, that's the point?
It's been like many things that I've been really like small things I've been testing. Like it all probably started with Half-Life 2 with Ravenholm.
Oh, whoa, Ravenholm.
Yeah, it was a bit of that, a little bit of Saw movie series. I also got into a little bit of body horror into that.
Hello, Adam. Dr. Gordon. I want to play a game. Live or die. Make your choice.
But the one thing that really catched me most was probably the Lovecraftian lore and old gods like lore and such. I kind of like the whole thing of knowledge makes you mad and the twist your head and thinking like realizing that something that is there isn't really there, but it's there anyways. Like the mind-boggling twisting feeling.
Okay, very interesting take. Again, good old-fashioned Cthulhu. You know, everybody thinks he's doing weird and powerful things. All he's doing is sleeping. Just let him sleep. He's fine. He just needs 5 more minutes. Perpetually 5 more minutes.
I mean, he sleeps forever. That's
but
what
when
it
he wakes,
does. And when he wakes, my God, you know way too much of the world.
And then in your, obviously, I'm assuming, you know, based off of that, the follow-up question was being, you know, what's your current favorite universe where horror may or may not be its core element? And bonus points for a case of, you know, this happened and then we deal with it way over there and it just lives in its own little bubble and the rest of the universe carries on beside it.
Oh, I mean, I still must say like Half-Life is like a little bit of the side horror that I kind of liked. Whereas like it's not really horror, but when it does bring that element in, it really like hits hard on me. And not only like the video games is also bringing like the horror element all of a sudden, it's also the tabletop scene as well that also can bring amplify the horror feeling when played right and such.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though it's like supposed to be like heroes going to travel and doing heroic stuff, it sprinkling some horror into it all of a sudden can really throw off some people.
What's your favorite tabletop game that gives you that vibe?
Honestly, it must be like, well, Call of Cthulhu, obviously, but there is also this other one called it's called Blades in the Dark that also like has tried out many different feelings, all from like very emotionally and twisted abuse to like people who like puppeteering you and realize in the end like you have been like controlled the entire time, which is like weirdly the type of horror I kind of like, to be like being puppeteered and realize in the end that wait a minute, I'm been doing this not for me but for someone else.
Oh, interesting. Again, people look at games and media and they completely forget that the tabletop scene has been around for far, far longer, even card games and stuff like that. And there are some amazing ones. One of my personal favorite ones is Arkham Asylum. And again, another Lovecraftian game that's based on there and was really fun. I specifically have memories of playing Arkham Asylum. Sorry, is it Arkham Asylum or Arkham Horror?
Arkham Horror.
It's Arkham Horror. There we go. Arkham Asylum, completely different franchise. But yeah, DC Universe has its own set of stuff on there as well. But playing Arkham Horror on New Year's Eve of, you know, the weirdness that it is. And we played through an entire campaign. We eventually did beat the cultists and put him back to sleep so he didn't wake. But yeah, that was 4 hours of a tabletop game with people interacting and obviously getting a little bit merry because of New Year's. And it was just so much more fun and just so much more intense because you again have that whole, you can top down look at it, but then if you get into character, you are completely immersed in the environment that you're going into. And then there was a small break for fireworks and then straight back into it. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, Zwiffy. If people want to follow you on various different social medias or get in touch with you or propose to play a game, where can they do that?
Right now, as I said, I have not really started yet, but I will most likely stream on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Zwiffy. And I'm also on TikTok also at Zwiffy as well, which I try to make some content whenever I have time to do it.
Nice. So thank you so much for that. If you would like to share your favorite tabletop horror element that may not have been discussed on here, or something else that you've had a experience with itself as well, or if you know what that Danish game was way back in the day, please let me know, because I'd kind of really like to watch whatever that particular opening scene is and just kind of get an understanding of what was going on. Do it in the comment section, like, comment, subscribe, all this other fun stuff, and I will see you in the next little interview.